Uncle Stan, the man behind the Mystery Shack. To some, he's just a con man in a fez, scamming tourists and cracking one-liners. But behind the gruff voice and shady business tactics lies one of the most complex and emotional stories in all of Gravity Falls. Today, we'll walk through his entire journey, from his early childhood to his final moments in the series, in perfect chronological order. This is the untold story of Stanley Pines. And believe me, you'll want to stay until the very end because his secrets are just as strange and as powerful as the mysteries he tried to hide. We firstly go to Season 2, Episode 12, A Tale of Two Stans. Stanley Pines was born in Glass Shard Beach, New Jersey, alongside his identical twin brother, Stanford. From a young age, Stan was loud, adventurous, and always getting into trouble. In contrast, Stanford was quiet, brilliant, and obsessed with science and learning. Together, they dreamed of sailing the world on their homemade boat, the Stan-O-War. They made promises to each other, promises of shared adventure and unbreakable loyalty. But a fateful accident changed everything. Stan accidentally broke his brother's science project, a revolutionary invention that would have earned Stanford a full scholarship to a prestigious university. Their father, always harder on Stan, disowned him, and Stanford, devastated and betrayed, demanded he never come back.
Stump. All you ever do is lie and cheat and ride on your brother's coattails. Well, this time you cost our family potential millions. And until you make us a fortune, you're not welcome in this household.
What? Stanford, tell him he's being
It was
crazy.
the beginning of Stanley's lonely path. But what started as exile would soon transform into something much bigger. After being kicked out, Stanley wandered the country for decades, living a nomadic life full of desperation and near constant failure. He tried to make a name for himself as a traveling salesman, hawking everything from knockoff toasters to miracle hair tonics. Each time he got close to success, something would go wrong, and he would have to start all over again. He changed names, lived under aliases, and was arrested more than once. But even in the lowest moments, Stan never stopped missing his brother or blaming himself for what had happened. The guilt ate away at him, and the anger he felt at the world never quite faded. Then, one day, he received a letter that changed everything. With nothing to lose and the past still haunting him, Stan set his course for a strange town. There, he meets his brother Stanford. He shows Stanley the research he made and his lab, hidden beneath a cabin in the woods, where an interdimensional portal was made. But the things got bad. The two brothers got into a fight and Stanford vanishes in another dimension.
Stanley! Stanley, help me! Oh no, what do I do? Stanley! Stanley! Do something! Stanley! Stanford!
Stan made a decision. He would fix the machine and bring his brother back, no matter what it took. But to do that, he would need money, resources, and time. So he assumed Ford's identity, becoming Stanford Pines to the world.
Stanford Pines.
He remodeled the cabin into a roadside attraction, the Mystery Shack. With cheesy exhibits, fake monsters, and inflated prices, the shack became a local curiosity and a financial success. For the first time in years, Stan had a purpose, but that purpose required secrecy, and the cost of that would only grow with time. So let's go back to Season 1, Episode 1, Tourist Trapped. Years passed, and just as Stan began to make real progress on the portal, his summer was interrupted by the arrival of his great-niece and nephew, Mabel and Dipper Pines. To them, he was just the eccentric uncle who ran a tacky roadside attraction. But behind the gruff persona, something began to change. Stan found himself caring for them, not out of obligation, but out of genuine love. Their innocence, curiosity, and resilience began to chip away at the walls he had built. He started locking the basement door tighter, hiding the truth deeper. But secrets have a way of slipping through the cracks. With that going on, we go on a trip into Stan's mind, jumping to Season 1, Episode 19, Dreamscaperers. When Bill Cipher invades Stan's mind, Dipper, Mabel, and Suze dive in to stop him. And what they find reveals more than they could have imagined. Inside Stan's subconscious lies a swirling storm of guilt and regret, memories of betrayal, fear of rejection, and the echoing voice of a disappointed father. Stan's mind is not orderly. It's a maze, full of broken doors, hidden corners, and defenses built from decades of pain. The kids stumble through shadowy hallways, each moment revealing just how much Stan has suffered and how little of that suffering he's ever shared. One door leads to a memory of his brother's rejection, another to his father's wrath. These aren't just repressed thoughts. They're wounds that never healed. But deeper still is love. Pure, stubborn love for his family. Even while unconscious, Stan's mind protects Mabel and Dipper. He shields them from the truth, not out of manipulation, but out of fear they might see him as a failure. The subconscious doesn't lie. It shows us who we really are. And Stan, at his core, is someone who'd give anything to protect the people he loves. And while his mind hides its pain behind thick walls, down in the basement of the Mystery Shack, a different kind of machine is awakening. That pushes us to Season 2, Episode 1, Karaoke. Gravity Falls doesn't sleep, especially not when karaoke night turns into a zombie outbreak. But while the town panics and sings off-key, something far more serious unfolds beneath the Mystery Shack. In a hidden lab, surrounded by wires, screens, and the hum of ancient machinery, Stan is working. We see him insert fuses, type commands, and calibrate systems with uncharacteristic precision. He's not just a scam artist. He's a man with a plan. Every step, every risky experiment, every strange machine built into the shack's foundation, it all points to something bigger. Stan is waking the portal, and time is running out. To the rest of Gravity Falls, he's a joke. To the kids, he's eccentric. But in this moment, he's something else entirely. A man standing between the known world and the return of the impossible. And with each click of the keyboard, the moment of truth inches closer than anyone realizes. The inevitable moment comes with this episode. Let's take a peek at Season 2, Episode 11, Not What He Seems. Stan's world unravels. The government has been watching. The electromagnetic activity has caught their attention. Dipper and Mabel, desperate to make sense of the lies, find the lab, and the truth comes crashing down. And yet, through the chaos, Stan doesn't flinch. As alarms blare and armed men storm the shack, he completes the sequence. He activates the portal. He risks it all. And in the blinding light, a man steps out, the real Stanley Pines.
What? Who is that? The author of the journals. My brother.
In that moment, Stan's entire identity is stripped away. His lies, his sacrifices, his secret mission, they're all exposed. The kids feel betrayed. Ford is shocked. The world is stunned. But Stan stands tall because for the first time in decades, his brother is home. But with truth comes consequence, and not every reunion is a celebration. But to understand that better, we need to go back to Season 2, Episode 12, A Tale of Two Stans. What do you say to the brother you tricked the world to save? Ford doesn't say thank you. He says, "You ruined my life." The bitterness is raw. The anger, justified. But the truth? It's complicated.
How's about maybe a thanks for saving you from what appears to be, I don't know, some kind of sci-fi sideburn dimension?
Thank you? You really think I'm gonna thank you after what you did 30 years ago?
What I did?
Stan lays everything bare. 30 years of deception, yes, but 30 years of work, sacrifice, loneliness, all for the chance to bring his brother back. Ford is torn, grateful to be alive, furious at the cost. But in the spaces between the shouting, there is something else. A shared childhood, a broken bond. A hint of the love that once defined them. They agree to coexist, to start over, however awkwardly. Yet peace is fragile in Gravity Falls, and some wounds take more than time to heal. Now, let's see something else about Stan by jumping to Season 1, Episode 9, The Time Traveler's Pig. This episode might seem lighthearted on the surface, a fun romp through time. But Stan's offhand comments hint at something deeper. Sometimes life gives you lemons, and sometimes it gives you horrible psychic wounds. He says it with a smirk. But behind that smirk, a lifetime of psychic wounds. Stan's humor has always been his armor. He wears it like a mask, deflecting any serious emotion with sarcasm. It's his shield. But as Gravity Falls grows stranger and more dangerous, the mask starts to crack, and the pressure building underneath is about to boil over. To get back on track with the story, we jump truff seasons and stop at Season 2, Episode 15, The Last Maplecorn. Ford, ever the scientist, becomes increasingly paranoid. He installs security measures, codes, restrictions. He doesn't trust Stan, not fully. Maybe he never did. To Stan, it's another rejection, another reminder that in Ford's eyes, he'll always be the screw-up. The weight of that betrayal doesn't just hurt, it hardens him. And in a town where trust can mean survival, Stan is left more isolated than ever. But isolation doesn't mean inaction. A greater threat is coming, and Stan will have a choice to make. To see that, we jump to Season 2, Episode 18, Weirdmageddon Part 1. Bill Cipher unleashes Weirdmageddon, and reality collapses. The sky cracks open. Citizens turn to stone. Gravity defies logic. Monsters roam free. Stan doesn't flinch. He steps up. Not with powers, not with knowledge, but with grit. The loving part of Stan is seen in the last episode of the series, Weirdmageddon 3, Take Back the Falls. Bill Cipher must be stopped. Ford has a plan. Trap Bill inside someone's mind and use the memory eraser. It's effective, it's final, but it's fatal for the volunteer. Stan doesn't hesitate. He volunteers without fanfare, without dramatics. Just a quiet nod. He walks into danger with a calm born of purpose. Inside his mind, Bill rants and raves. But Stan holds firm. For one final moment, he is the center of the storm, unshaken. Ford pulls the trigger, and everything Stan was is wiped clean. His memories, his story, his love, all gone. But the world is safe, the monster is dead. And Stan, flawed, loyal, irreplaceable Stan, dies a hero. Yet heroes have a strange way of lingering, especially in the hearts of those who love them. Stan awakens, hollow. No recognition, no connection. Just a blank slate of a man who once carried the weight of so many lives.
Nope, but this chair hugs my butt like it remembers. Ah. Hey, why the long faces? You guys look like it's someone's funeral. Who's that big guy crying in the corner?
We saved the world, but what's the point? Grunkle Stan's not himself anymore.
There's gotta be something we can do to jog his memory.
There isn't. I'm sorry.
But love is resilient. Mabel shows him pictures. Dipper tells stories. Suze cracks jokes. The family that he saved now saves him. Bit by bit, the pieces come back. A laugh here, a memory there. Until finally, through sheer love and willpower, Stanley Pines reemerges. Bruised, altered, but alive. And waiting for him? A boat, a brother, and a second chance at the dream they once shared. Because sometimes, even the most fractured past can lead to a brand new future. Stanley Pines was never perfect. He was flawed, stubborn, and at times selfish. But through love, sacrifice, and sheer determination, he became something greater. A protector, a brother, a hero. In Gravity Falls, where reality bends and the impossible is real, Uncle Stan reminds us of the most human truth of all. No one is beyond redemption. And sometimes the greatest stories are the ones hiding in plain sight, especially the ones we almost didn't notice until they saved everything. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe for more stories. The Cartoon Detective will be back soon with more hidden cartoon mysteries, so stay tuned.